All right, so get this. Picture the Haitian Revolution, right? But in the middle of it all, you've got these Polish soldiers,
Yeah.
and they're fighting, but not for who you'd think.
Exactly, not for Napoleon.
They end up switching sides and fighting with the Haitians.
It's a wild story. It really shows you just how connected everything in history is.
For sure, and that's what we're diving into today.
Yep, how those Polish soldiers got to Haiti in the first place and the impact they had on this fight for freedom.
So we've got some articles, some Wikipedia, the usual suspects to help us figure this whole thing out.
Should be fascinating to see where it goes.
Definitely, especially because I bet a lot of folks are probably thinking, Poland, Haiti, what's the connection?
Yeah, I can imagine. So to get started, we need some context.
For sure.
It's the late 1700s, and things aren't looking so good for Poland.
Right. They got basically wiped off the map,
Basically, yeah, Prussia, Russia, and Austria, they all took their pieces.
leaving Poland.
Yeah, gone. And the Polish patriots, they were desperate, needed a solution, any solution.
So that's where Napoleon comes in.
He does.
But how?
Well, lots of Poles looked at Napoleon. I mean, he was powerful.
A conqueror.
Definitely. And they thought, maybe if we support him, prove our loyalty.
He'll help us get our country back.
That was the hope. So thousands of Polish soldiers, they joined Napoleon's army.
All for the chance to get Poland back on the map.
Exactly. But Haiti, that's a whole different story.
That is a long way from Poland.
You got that right. So it's 1802, and Napoleon, he sends this Polish legion, over 5,000 men, off to Saint-Domingue.
Which is Haiti today, right?
Right. And their mission, put down what they were told was a small prisoner uprising.
Minor thing.
That's what they thought, had no idea they were marching into a full-blown revolution.
Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Definitely. And here's the kicker. You've got these Polish soldiers fighting for their own freedom.
And they're sent to crush someone else's.
It's almost poetic, the irony of it all,
Yeah, that big dose of reality hits them.
Oh, it does.
So what happens? What's the scene like when they actually get to Haiti?
Well, it's not pretty. They were expecting a contained prisoner revolt.
Right. Minor disturbance.
But they were met with the full force of the Haitian Revolution.
Oh, wow. Talk about a shock.
This wasn't some small uprising. This was a fight for freedom against slavery.
The whole system.
Everything. It had been defining life on that island for generations.
I bet seeing that firsthand really shook those soldiers up.
Imagine seeing that level of brutality, the desperation of the Haitians, especially when you're fighting for freedom yourself.
And to make things even worse, I've heard that the French didn't exactly treat their Polish allies all that well.
No, they did not.
What was going on there?
Well, the French weren't known for being, shall we say, the best to their troops.
Right. Notoriously bad.
And that went double for foreign legions. So the Poles,
They got the short end of the stick.
pretty much delayed pay,
Right.
terrible supplies, constantly sent on the most dangerous missions.
And of course, all of that just fueled the fire of their disillusionment.
Absolutely. So there they were, stuck in a foreign land, watching this brutal reality play out.
Which clashes with their own ideals.
And on top of all that, they're being mistreated by the very people they're supporting.
Yeah, that'll make you do some soul searching.
Makes you wonder, what would I do?
Right. And did any of them actually start to question what they were doing there?
Oh, yeah, many did. Oh, yeah, many did. And get this, some of them didn't just desert.
They didn't.
Nope, they went a step further, actually joined the Haitian revolutionaries.
No way, really. Talk about a plot twist.
I know, right? Switching sides, fighting with the people they were sent to stop.
What made them do that? I mean, that's a huge decision.
Well, a lot of things, but seeing slavery up close, that was a big one.
Makes sense. I mean, you're there on the ground seeing the brutality firsthand.
Exactly. And remember, these were Polish soldiers. They knew a thing or two about fighting for freedom.
Right. Poland's history, that's all about independence, fighting for your own country.
Exactly. So seeing the Haitians doing the same thing, it must resonated with them.
Yes, seeing that same spirit of resistance, it makes you think.
It does. And, some of those Polish deserters, they didn't just leave quietly.
What do you mean?
They actually went back to the Haitian rebels, told them how unhappy the Polish troops were.
Really? Giving them intel.
Basically, they knew it could help the revolution weaken the French.
Wow, talk about taking stand.
Risky move for sure.
It is. And what about those Polish soldiers who actually joined the Haitians? Do we know anything about their lives?
We do. There are some pretty amazing stories.
Like what?
Well, there's this one Polish officer, Joseph Dornicki.
Okay.
He ended up becoming a close advisor to Toussaint Louverture.
Wasn't he one of the main leaders of the revolution?
He was, and Wernicke, he trained Haitian troops, even helped design some of their fortifications.
Wow. So they brought their military expertise to the table.
They did. They weren't just, foot soldiers.
Right. Their skills, their experience, it all made a difference.
And the Haitians recognized that big time. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, he was Haiti's first leader after the revolution.
Okay.
Well, he said the Poles were the white Negroes of Europe.
The white Negroes of Europe.
I know, right? Powerful statement. He saw them as equals in the fight against oppression.
He really understood their struggle.
He did. And it wasn't just words either, Dessalines. He granted full Haitian citizenship to the Polish soldiers who fought for the revolution.
Seriously? They became Haitian citizens.
They did. He even classified them as Noirs in the Haitian Constitution.
Which means, wow, they were fully accepted into Haitian society.
Exactly. They weren't just tolerated. They were embraced.
And what happened to them after the revolution? Did they just blend in?
Well, yeah, many of them did. They formed communities, especially in this village called Cazaux.
Cazaux. Where's that?
It's near Port-au-Prince.
Okay.
And there they, intermarried with Haitians, built homes, became part of the fabric of Haitian culture.
So they weren't just a footnote in history. They actually left a lasting mark.
They did, and there's still evidence of that today, like some of the food in Haiti.
Really? Like what?
Well, there are these certain dishes that have a sort of Polish influence.
Huh. Interesting.
And even today, some families in Cazaux, they still have Polish last names.
Wow. So the connection is still there after all these years.
It is. It's pretty amazing when you think about it, this revolution in the Caribbean.
Having this impact on soldiers from, halfway across the world.
It's a small world, I guess.
It is. But wait, there's more to the story, right?
There is. A much later chapter, 1994.
1994. Okay. What happened then?
Well, Haiti's in another crisis, a coup d'etat.
Overthrowing the government.
Yep, and the international community, including Poland, they step in.
To help out.
To try and restore order, bring back democracy.
So Polish soldiers back in Haiti, but this time it's a peacekeeping mission.
Exactly. Very different from fighting alongside revolutionaries.
Right, supporting a democratic government instead.
And it shows you, these two countries, so different, so far apart, but connected by history.
It really is remarkable. It makes you think about how connected everything is, Events from hundreds of years ago, they could still have an impact today.
Absolutely. And it reminds you, too, that history isn't always so simple.
Not just good guys versus bad guys.
Exactly. Sometimes it gets messy. People have to make tough choices, in these difficult situations.
Like those Polish soldiers. Imagine being in their shoes.
Yeah.
Far from home, fighting for your own country's freedom, and then...
You see what's happening in Haiti.
Exactly. And you got to ask yourself, what would I do?
Right. Would you just follow orders? Or would you risk everything for what you believe in?
Especially when it means siding with the people you were supposed to be fighting against.
It's a question that goes way beyond just this one event,
Yeah, it's about what kind of person you are, what you stand for.
It really makes you examine your own values, doesn't it?
It does, and I think that's one of the big things we can take away from all of this. It's a reminder to think about those tough choices, to have the courage to stand up for what's right.
Even when it's hard.
Even when it's dangerous. And, this deep dive, we've just scratched the surface.
Oh, yeah, there's so much more to this story.
Like, what was life like for those Polish descendants in Cazaux?
Right. How did they keep their Polish identity while becoming Haitian?
And what stories, what traditions did they pass down through the generations?
It makes you realize how much history is out there waiting to be discovered.
All these hidden stories, connections we never would have guessed.
And that's the beauty of it,
It is. So to everyone listening, next time you're learning about history,
dig a little deeper.
Look for those unexpected connections, those stories that really bring history to life.
You might be surprised at what you find.
You definitely might. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive into history.